You're in special forces. So what happens when you get, like, where'd you go when you get selected?
Yeah, I mean, for me, going back to 1980, the embassy, Men in Black, abseiling into a building and taking the building, that was just, for me, was like, I wanted that. That's what I wanted. That to me meant special forces. So for me, the team I joined, I mean, when you pass SAS selection, you then decide whether you go to SAS or SBS. I want to go to the SBS. The SBS is more focused around water, and for me, it had lots more toys. So mini subs, all that kind of stuff, diving, that for me was a lot more. I had a passion for that, for whatever reason. So I went to the SBS. You then go off and do more training. You have to do all your combat course, learning demolitions underwater, all that kind of stuff, navigation underwater, focusing on different insertion techniques, using maritime craft and all that. So there's a lot of training, and then finally, once you pass that, you then go to the SBS. So then you join your team. And that's it. Selection doesn't train you to be a Special Forces soldier. It gives you some very basic skills in the Special Forces world to be able to join a team. It's when you join a team that you become a Special Forces soldier. You're now able to be worked with, to be trained up as a member of a Special Forces team, as an operator. So really, from that moment on, it's almost like you look back and go, Jesus, selection was quite easy. Not easy as in physically easy, but you knew what you were doing and stuff. When you actually join a team, the training you have to go through, different skills, different weapon systems, different kind of technology, whether that's communications, whether that's GPS equipment, whatever it is, it's constant learning languages, learning medical. There's loads, absolutely loads to take on. But for me, the moment I knew I was in the Special Forces was the first operation I went on, which was unreal. It was brilliant, but because until that point I'd just been training. It wasn't, I just wanted to do the job. And it was like, I had a pager, I was fully qualified, I had a pager. Pages, so basically I was on 30 minutes notice to move. It's in the UK, so I could leave camp, but I had to be 30 minutes from camp. So basically I had this pager, and it was a Friday afternoon, and we just left. I was just out for the week, gone for the weekend, and I think it was Friday around about 4 o'clock or something like that. Pager went off. And sometimes you have a drill. If it's drill, you just have to phone up, and it's just a drill process. But if there's a certain code on your pager, it's happening. And for me, I picked up that pager thinking it was a drill, and I saw the code, and I was like, holy shit. It's like, this is real. So I went straight back to camp. We went straight into a mission brief, and before we knew it, helos came in. We got all our kit packed on. We went up to a forward operating base, closer to the target area, and from there it's a place similar to this, like a big open hangar, where we basically mounted all our intelligence. We went through set up our area for rehearsals. So all the time you're waiting for the mission to go down, you were spending that time training up, using every second spare to get ready for the mission ahead. Any kind of training, you're just doing it constantly. Any updates on intelligence coming in. And then later that night, it was actually early hours of the following morning, we got the call to go and mounted onto the helicopters, all dressed in black, balaclavas, night vision goggles, short stubby machine guns, and it was just fucking unreal. On that job, I was in the helicopter team, and we're hitting a target out at sea. And we had boats coming up the back of the vessel. We were the helo team, which would go over the top of the vessel. We were fast rope out, straight onto the target. And it was unreal. We hit the target probably about just before dawn. You hit the target just before dawn so that you can smash it in the dark. And then by the time you've taken the ship, you've got the natural light to be able to do the exfil. And I can remember looking down from the helo like I wasn't first man, but the guys are gone. The fast rope dropped out, and you're not attached to the fast rope apart from your hands. So you've got all your body armour on, you've got all your ammunition, you've got grenades, you've got your machine gun, the whole lot. And all that's keeping you on that rope is your hands, and you use that to brake and to slow you down. And I can remember looking down the ships doing this because the seas were that rough. And you basically had to time it. The fast rope was down there and it was coming across like that. And you had to time it so that you would land on the boat as it was coming over its 12 o'clock position. It was hideous. Any wrong move, you'd have been off the side. And so basically it came my turn and I got onto the vessel. And then we took the ship down, and it was unreal. And then just the next morning, just about half an hour after, we took the ship, and all teams were on board. The sun was coming up in the horizon. Helos came in and just lifted us off. It was just like surreal, and that's when I knew I was in the Special Forces.
Is there a mission or a moment that sort of encapsulates what being Special Forces is that you remember yourself?
But that is it.
That is it.
That is it. For me, it's like, like doing all that specialist skills training, like counter-terrorism and all that kind of training that's involved with that for me is a Special Forces soldier. Some of the work that we used to do, like getting to your target, like, subsurface with a rebreather on so there's no bubbles, at night, getting to your target, that to me is Special Forces. It's a unique set of skills. And to do it with the precision and the teamwork that you're working within is just like something like I've never experienced in my life ever. It's almost like you're telepathic. You're that trained up with the people around you. It is seamless. And just as you think something, that area is not covered, there's someone moving to it. It's like a symphony of people. And for me, doing all that specialist skills, going from A to B to a target under the sea at night to hit a target like a ship or whatever it was, that for me is like Special Forces. That is a unique set of skills.
So you come out of Special Forces. How long was you in Special Forces for?
6 years. So I did 11 years total, so I was 5 years in the Royal Marines and then 6 years in the Special Forces. But to be quite honest, I was like, and I say this in my books, it didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? And I wanted more of it. I was in around the time where there wasn't the Iraq war. Well, there wasn't Iraq, there wasn't Afghanistan. So for me, there wasn't enough of it. There was, we'd have bits and bobs here and there, and that was just the norm. But for me, I wanted to be at the coalface every day. That's what I thought was missing. But I knew there was something missing. There was something missing that I didn't feel complete. And for someone that, if I could have looked at that as a kid before I even joined, I'd be like, that'd be everything for me. And a lot of people do think that. Joining the Special Forces would be everything. If I could do that, that would tick every box and I would be totally happy. I'd never want to leave. But I got there and it wasn't like that. There was something missing.
Well, do you think that stems from having an unfulfilled appetite for success or wanting more?
No, I know exactly what it is. But, this is from hindsight. Hindsight never won any wars, but it gives you a good reflection. And for me, this is where people get it so wrong. We are all chasing an image. You know what I mean? I was chasing an image of a Special Forces soldier and how that would look, and I was forgetting the one fundamental thing that is so far more important than that, and that's a feeling. It should be the feeling you're chasing, not the image. People want the perfect house, the perfect job, all this, that and the other, the perfect marriage, or whatever it is. But that's an image in your head. It doesn't mean that when you get there, you're going to feel that same passion for it. We all know, everyone knows that a lot of the time you have this visualization of how something might be, whether that's going out for the night, going to your favorite club or whatever, and it's always totally different when you get there. You know what I mean? So if you get too attached to the image of what you want, you're going to end up being disappointed when you get there. But for me, I hadn't found my purpose at that point. And I didn't know anything about purpose at that point. I didn't go, I haven't found my purpose. It's just something that wasn't connecting. And for me, something was missing. And I didn't know what it was. And I thought I was having mental health problems. I thought, there's something wrong with you. If you can't enjoy this, what you're doing, jumping out of planes at night, which is, parachuting through the sky in the dark, skydiving, and all these things I was doing was amazing. Why wasn't I enjoying that?